out a toilet. I mean, I don't blame them. And why not? The EPA does it. Maybe that's the new sign that you're in the in crowd. You just walk into a restaurant, just crapping all over, crap on the table. I mean, why not? It's racist. Walk into a police station and just walk in and just crap right on the front desk, and they're going to go. They start arresting me and I go, what? I'm culturally sensitive here. That was in the news last week. That's why they're having all these inspections and people are getting in trouble because there's just crap everywhere. But easing rules governing how much space each child needs and what kind of facilities they should have. Maybe that should be the new American flag. It's just somebody crapping on the floor. I mean, the EPA, by the way, when I said this a few months ago, people thought I was joking. Then I mentioned it again a few days ago or last week, and people were on YouTube going, I thought he was joking till we flashed the article up. No. At EPA facilities all over the country, they go, the U.S. citizens, we're not just saying the illegals here because they grew up like in cardboard boxes. I feel sorry for them. They go to the bathroom at their desk and hallways. And they're not just lazy and pee on the floor. I mean, in Idiocracy, you have a toilet built right into your seat. I mean, that's trendy. No, I mean, you got to have a hipster beard, a hipster, hipster. By the way, there's a new article out. Islamic State's new icon is a hipster. And I saw this a few days ago and thought it was satire, but now it's in the London Telegraph. I look at so much news. I looked at it and thought, that can't be real. You guys, if you'll punch this up for TV viewers, it's so ridiculous. Islamic State's new icon is a hipster jihadi, sword-wielding supporter of the caliphate, is a university graduate from a well-off Cairo family. I bet you $1 million he's CIA or Ford Foundation or Soros Group. I mean, you can just look at it. What a joke. And, hey, they're carrying out Democratic Party operation to murder every Christian they find, slit the throats of non-radical Muslims, and just rule savagely, rolling with power like Akron. You walk in Akron and go, I got children I want to run as sex slaves. They're like, sir, you came to the right place. Time to run ops. And if you don't run child sex slaves in America for the Democrats, you're a racist. And if you're at the EPA and you don't just projectile crap all over the walls, you know what? Maybe when I was at CNN a few years ago for the Piers Morgan deal, and I'd been at the same studios before, and it was all nice a few years before, and now it was all gross while I'm on this scatological deal that Karl Rove, who listens in Austin, I'm sure loves. But I'm disgusted by it. I'm not obsessed with it like he is with his nickname for the president, TB. I don't mean tuberculosis. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Turd Blossom, that it was like Jackson Pollocks all over the walls, green, brown, black crap. I mean, maybe that's what America is. Maybe you prove you're a Democrat now by just running around the street, don't even wear diapers. Stay with us.
This is Scottish John for Infowars.com. I know that most of you here in this commercial already know about the New World Order, eugenics, and all the other issues covered here at Infowars. The question is, do your friends and family know? If not, then I want to know why. Oh, I know it's tough to talk about this with some people. They might call you names, or they just want to talk about sports or soap operas. I say, so what? There's a battle going on out there right now. The ammunition is information, and the soldiers are you. It's time to transform your game from passive listener to active participant. We from Scotland have had our skin in this game for the greater part of the last 1,000 years, and I'm still fighting. If we don't all stand up right now, we're going to lose everything. The Infowar is worldwide. Tell your friends about Infowars and let them know that Infowars doesn't print bull. It's real journalism and news backed up by documented fact. Step up and take your friends and family to Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv and PlanetInfowars.com. The truth will set them free.
This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com.
I'm David Hall, founder of Diamond Gusset, where we are proud of our 100% grown and sewn American-made jeans. Whether you're out for dinner, working on the farm, or on the road, Diamond Gusset Jeans offers a full spectrum of style and sizes for any occasion. Our loyal customers enable us to continue sponsoring Liberty Media outlets. Use promo code FREEDOM to receive a 15% discount at Gusset.com. In Liberty, David Hall, Diamond Gusset Jean Company.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put 2 and 2 together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, we're here live. Back weeknights, 7 o'clock Central. InfoWars Nightly News. Former Congressman George Hansen had the eye of the tiger. Back when no one in government dared criticize the IRS or speak on the floor of the House on C-SPAN about stories of them taking homes without even warrants or without even juries, jerking the diamond rings off little old ladies' fingers, he would expose that it was a collection agency for the private Federal Reserve that had been set up in 1913. And I remember interviewing Hansen back in the mid-'90s, again after 2000. I tried to get him on last year and again earlier this year and learned that he was in bad health and could not come on, but he recommended Mark Adams, who is his biographer. And when we look at what the IRS is doing today, going after hundreds of thousands of conservatives, libertarians, Tea Partiers, pro-life groups, Christian groups, land rights organizations, setting people up, arresting people, it's created a giant chilling effect. Or even mainline Baptist churches hand out letters we've shown here on air telling their practitioners, when you go to a church dinner, don't even talk about politics when you're having dinner. Well, I mean, the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And then it goes in the freedom of the press, the right to assemble for redress of grievances. So petitioning, all of it's in the First Amendment. More important, the founders believe, in the second, but the two go together, like a horse and carriage, like an engine and a caboose, because it's the pen that is so mighty, even more than the sword, because the sword will fail if it's not backed up by the pen. That's the info war. Pentagon says 90% of war is now info war. They say soon it'll be 90+%, 98%. And so that's why we're going to remember what's been happening to George Hansen. We're going to look back on what happened to him. But first, we're going to start at present times and work our way back with investigative journalist Mark Adams, who, again, has a book coming out on the subject. And Jesse Ventura joins us in the next hour. We'll have news as it breaks as well. More on the border. Russia prepares large-scale invasion, battle-ready forces of infantry, armor, artillery, and air defense. That's up on Infowars.com. We've got some of the other important news up on Infowars.com. NATO warns Russia will use humanitarian mission as pretext to invade Ukraine. CDC remains silent on potential Ebola victims in the U.S. COP, if Obama doesn't follow the Constitution, we don't have to. There's video of that. Amnesty supporter hits protesting a woman's car. CDC getting dozens of calls about people who are ill after traveling to Africa. 911 dispatcher issues insane instructions to woman whose house is being robbed. Put down your gun. That's the kind of news up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Also, Robert Redford has come out. He wants to be basically tax exempt. He's suing the state of New York over $1.6 million in taxes. And it's always the Democrats. If you look at the numbers, the congressmen that don't pay taxes, the big rich moguls that don't pay taxes, the Bill and Melinda Gates that get out of taxes, the Warren Buffetts, while lobbying to have poor people's taxes raised because they get it in government contracts. Truly a disgusting group of kleptocrats posing as loving liberals who have the moral high ground. Now, before we go to Mark Adams, if you're a TV viewer, we'll show you some of the photos of Congressman Hansen, who was tortured. And that's the story that we haven't gotten to yet. He was driven around, his teeth knocked out. He was driven around for months. They call it dieseling. Those aren't even the bad photos we found online. Until his, yes, they call it diesel therapy. Thank you, John. Where your toes pop, your legs rot, your feet burst. In fact, the photos we found online aren't even the ones he sent me more than a decade ago that were just unbelievable. But this is the type of evil that you'd imagine in a communist gulag happening to Alexander Solzhenitsyn that goes on. So he's too ill to keep fighting on, but he fights on through his biographer and researcher. First, I want to play a clip from the early 1990s on Geraldo Rivera with Congressman Hansen when it was admitted and confirmed that he indeed had been targeted and tortured. Here it is.
But in my case, I beat them on the tax matter that they tried to throw at me. In fact, we had a five-figure refund. But they did everything they could to try to embarrass you in the middle of an election, all that type of thing, and then it didn't stop. They tried to come at you from other directions, the Federal Election Commission or the ethics reports that you file with Congress. And it didn't even matter if you went to the committee that handled the reports and asked them how to file the reports with two attorneys present, and they filed the reports. They made sure that one agency of government, the one they work with, the Justice Department, came in and got you anyway, even though you followed the instructions. So they have a way of getting you if they don't like you, and there's a whole host of stories. Any politician that stands in their way, they're not safe either. They file taxes.
And you wonder why people go along. Well, the NSA is blackmailing. We had William Binney on a few weeks ago to say, no, it's confirmed they spy on the Congress and blackmail them and threaten them. And then they had an intel operative come out in the news and say, I claimed I interviewed of someone from an intelligence community when Bill Binney is the highest level NSA person ever go public. He was number 4 at the NSA when he quit in October 2001. This is the PSYOP they run. Telling you there's no death panels in Obamacare. Telling you there's no open border. Now they admit it. Telling you that you can keep your doctor. Telling you raising the debt limit doesn't raise the debt limit. Telling you there's no tyranny. They're lying to you. So, Mark Adams, I'm going to give you the floor for the next 6 minutes till we go to break. Where should we begin? Currently what's happening or at the beginning?
Well, gosh, thanks for having me on, Alex. I'll tell you, it's remarkable. So much of Congressman Hansen's fireball career, it directly relates now to the exposed collusion of the IRS and the Justice Department working together to try to destroy the Tea Party. And for sure, 2014 has been a busy year for the IRS. As reported in the New York Daily News on June 24th, United States Archivist David Ferraro, he testified to Congress that IRS did not follow the law when it failed to report the destruction of Lois Lerner's emails. Also, on June 24th, it was revealed that the IRS was forced to pay $50,000 to the National Organization for Marriage for illegally disclosing their donor list. That was reported in the Daily Signal. And then let's also remember Christine O'Donnell, when it was revealed last February that the IRS illegally disclosed her confidential tax documents. And then at the end of June, June 30th, the Hill newspaper